Life in Puerto Rico can be quite bizarre. The great Colombian writer Gabriel Garcia Marquez once said that everyday living in Puerto Rico went well beyond his magical realism. So I thought I would bring you up to speed on several key points so you'll feel right at home when you arrive on the island. Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. It's not a state and it's not a commonwealth. It's basically a possession of the United States. It was ceded by Spain in 1898 under the Paris Treaty, which put an end to the Spanish-American War. Even so, Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens. And how did that happen? Well, because they were granted U.S. citizenship on March 2, 1917 with the signing of the Jones-Shafroth Act. 2 months later, the Compulsory Military Service Act was signed into law, and 20,000 Puerto Ricans were drafted for World War I. From that point on, Puerto Ricans have participated in every major U.S. conflict. So you do the math. Puerto Ricans pay in dollars, but they call them pesos. The monetary system on the island is based on the U.S. dollar. But remember, Puerto Rico was once part of the Great Spanish Empire, and the peso was the island's currency before the American invasion in 1898. So the term has stuck to this day. Puerto Rico is surrounded by water, but it's not an island. It's also not an archipelago. I learned this from Puerto Rican geomorphologist Dr. Jose Molinelli Freites. The Caribbean is an archipelago. Puerto Rico is the group of islands within that archipelago, consisting of the main island Puerto Rico and several smaller islands that include Vieques, Culebra, and Culebrita to the east, Mona and Desecheo to the west, Caja de Muerto to the south, and several other smaller islands and keys. In fact, here's a piece of trivia for you. The capital of Puerto Rico, San Juan, is actually located on a separate islet connected to the main island by 3 bridges: San Antonio, Esteves, and Tres Hermanos. Puerto Ricans laugh at life, but not at themselves. Puerto Ricans have had a tough time for a long time. The island is among the oldest colonies in the world. It was a Spanish colony for over 400 years, and it has been under American rule since 1898. People call Puerto Rico many things, but in the end, it's a U.S. colony. And yet Puerto Ricans are amazingly cheerful people. Just in the last 3 years, the island has endured one of the largest financial disasters in history, 2 major hurricanes, several earthquakes, the COVID-19 pandemic, and now a severe drought. And yet Puerto Ricans find a way to make fun of life and laugh their way through adversity. What they're not good at is laughing at themselves. Try roasting a Puerto Rican and you're sure to end up with a severe argument or even worse. You have to be 18 to drink, smoke cigarettes, and get a driver's permit in Puerto Rico. And if you're between the ages of 18 and 20, the legal drinking limit is a stiff blood alcohol concentration of 0.02. Otherwise, it's 0.08 like in most jurisdictions in the United States. The voting age is also 18, so is the age to enlist for military service. However, the minimum gambling age is 21, and so is the age to have a credit card, apply for a mortgage, own real estate, buy insurance, or purchase a motor vehicle. Water in Puerto Rico is generally safe. Tap water quality is similar to most places in the United States, except during dry spells when rationing causes it to be quite turbid. Bottled water is readily available, or you can simply boil your water to make sure that it's pathogen-free. Puerto Rico is generally safe, but it does have its fair share of crime. With a population of 3.3 million, Puerto Rico's homicides average 800 per year, which is high for such a small island, but lower than most U.S. cities. That said, most murders on the island are connected to the drug trade, so if you're not into that, your chances of being affected are nil. Tourists can be affected by petty crimes like pickpocketing and robbery. Don't leave valuables unattended or in your car. When walking at night, do it in well-lit areas and in groups. Never leave valuables unattended at the beach and stay away from them altogether at night. Remember, tourists all around the world are easy marks because criminals know that you're only going to be in town for a few days, so the chances that you'll press charges are minimal. Like any other country, your best bet is to be mindful of your surroundings and play it safe. You're sure to have a great time. Oh, and by the way, if you own an Amazon Kindle or an Apple iPad with the Kindle app, and you're planning to visit Old San Juan, order the Old San Juan Walking Tour for Kindle. It's packed with useful information about all the main attractions. And hey, it's only $5. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified every time we publish another short video.